Assalamu alaikum ji, this is Saad Shahid, and in this video we are going to discuss the topics related to isotopes. What are isotopes? What are the applications of isotopes in our daily life? And how can we relate isotopes with the relative atomic mass? And how can we calculate relative atomic masses? So these are the contents, these are the subtopics which we are going to cover in this video. So let's move to the screen. So beta ji, isotopes are the atoms of the same element which have same atomic number but different mass number. But as you can see here, I have mentioned that isotopes are the atoms of the same element which have same number of protons but different number of neutrons. Yes, we can define in this way as well. देखिए, if the atomic number is same, it means atomic number is actually the proton number. This is what we have already covered in the previous videos. The atomic number is the proton number. So if the atomic number is same, it means number of protons are same. And every atom has equal number of proton and electrons. So beta ji, if atomic number is same, it means protons are same. If protons are same, it means electrons are same. If the electrons are same, if there are two atoms, they both have 10 electrons. So how can we distribute these these electrons in different shells? 2 और 8 करके ही divide करेंगे ना in different shells में. If we have neon, neon has 10 electrons. So the electronic configuration is 2 and 8. In the first shell, we can maximum put 2 electrons. In the second shell can accommodate maximum 8 electrons. So beta ji, 2 and 8 is the electronic configuration. Actually, the distribution of electrons in various shells is called electronic configuration. So ये screen पे भी आपको नजर आ रही होगी definition. The distribution of electrons in the various shells is called electronic configuration. So beta, if the electrons are same, so it must have same electronic configuration. And same electronic configuration means the same chemical properties. Chemical properties depends upon the number of electrons present in the outermost shell. So chemical properties depends upon the valence electrons. If the valence electrons are same, it means they have same chemical properties. On the other hand, mass number is different, and we know that mass number is the sum of protons and neutrons. If the protons are same, so what is the other thing which could be different? Obviously the number of neutrons. So number of neutrons are different in isotopes. Number of neutrons are different. If they have different masses, different neutrons, so obviously if there are two atoms which have different mass is actually the physical property. So masses are different means physical properties are different. Physical properties are different. Let's understand the whole concept through the isotopes of carbon. As you can see here, I have mentioned 3 isotopes of carbon. Carbon 12, carbon 13 and carbon 14. These are the 3 isotopes of carbon. Because all these 3 atoms have 6 electrons. All these 3 atoms of the carbon element have 6 electrons. 6 protons, 6 electrons. 6 protons, 6 electrons. 6 protons and 6 electrons. So it means, which we have discussed above here, we just discussed this thing here, okay, all the atoms of the same element have same number of protons and electrons. So beta, this is the same thing which we are observing here. Carbon के तीनों atoms में there are 6 protons and 6 electrons. If there are 6 protons, it means this is the atomic number. So how can we calculate the number of neutrons. Because see, carbon 12, this 12 is actually the mass number. So mass number is 12, 6 is the number of proton, so 12 minus 6, it will give you 6. So 6 neutrons है इसमें. Carbon 13, so this is the mass number of another atom of the carbon. Carbon 13, it has 6 protons. तो बेटा mass number किसके equal होता है? Mass number is the sum of protons and neutrons. So number of protons को minus कर दो mass number से, and in this way you can calculate the number of neutrons. So 13 minus 6, that will give you 7. So these are the 7 neutrons present in the carbon 13 isotope. Isotopes क्या होते हैं? These are the atoms of the same element. It means an element is containing so many atoms which have same number of protons, which have same atomic number, ठीक है? But different mass number. All right? So mass number is different in carbon 14 as well. So carbon 14 में से अगर न्यूट्रॉन्स निकालने हैं, so there are 6 protons को माइनस कर दो, and in this way you can calculate the number of neutrons. 14 minus 6 equals to 8. So these atoms can represented in this way: carbon 612, carbon 613, carbon 614. These are the 3 atoms of the carbon element. ठीक है? These 3 are the isotopes of carbon. ठीक है? But periodic table में कैसे इसको represent किया जाता है? You must have seen this thing in the periodic table. कि periodic table में लिखा होता है carbon 6 or 12.01 or something like that. ठीक है? कुछ ना कुछ points में values given होती है. So ये जो points में value होती है ना, this is actually the relative atomic mass. This is relative atomic mass. So what is relative atomic mass? We'll discuss this later in this video. So एक और example को देखते हैं, chlorine को. ठीक है? Chlorine is another important example. As you can see here on the screen, there are 2 isotopes of chlorine, chlorine 35 and chlorine 37. Why I am saying this? Because यहाँ पे मुझे mass नजर आ रहा है chlorine 35. So it could be represented in this way as well. Chlorine 35 is this one, and chlorine 37 is this one. But both atoms have same number of protons. This one is having 17 protons and this atom is also having 17 protons. But what is different in isotopes? Number of neutrons. So here we have 18 neutrons and here we have 20 neutrons. So किस तरह से calculate किया जाता है? Let's have a look on this thing again. 35 is the mass number. Minus कर दो number of protons को 17, so you will get 18 neutrons. Similarly, there we have a mass 37 minus 17, that will give you 20. So 20 is the number of neutrons. This is the way to calculate the number of neutrons. So how many electrons are present in both atoms of the chlorine? This is what you have to mention in the comment box. All right? कितने electrons हैं chlorine के? So now moving towards the next concept, relative atomic mass. As I discussed कि carbon का symbol किस तरह से periodic table में लिखा होता है. Similarly, chlorine is also mentioned in this way. Chlorine 17 and you must have observed this thing कि 35.5 लिखा होता है periodic table में. So sir, what is this 35.5? So what is relative atomic mass? Let's have a look on this. So because in relative atomic mass के लिए we have to understand the 2 key points. Number 1, atomic mass. The mass of an atom. Mass of an atom. So this is an average mass. The first point which we have to mention, it is an average mass of an atom. And we know that atoms are present in the element. So can I write in this way? The average mass of an atom of an element. Of an element. So this is the first point of its definition. And the second point, we have to use this concept, relative. Relate करवाना है. We have to compare the mass of the atom. ठीक है? So now moving towards the second point, compare the mass of an atom with the standard mass. So we have to make a standard जो कि है 1/12th mass of carbon. ठीक है? So compare the mass of an atom with 1/12th mass of carbon 12 isotope. Make sense? So why we are using 1/12th mass of carbon 12? So carbon 12 is using because it has a mass 12. So why I am using 1/12th mass? Because it is equivalent to 1. 1/12th mass of carbon 12. So it gives you the mass 1. So that's why I'm using 1/12th mass of the carbon 12 isotope. Alright. So there are 2 points of relative atomic mass. The first one, average mass of the atom. Second point, compare the mass of the atom with the 1/12th mass of the carbon 12. Okay? So this is the definition for the 2 marks. And this question has already appeared in the CIEs. IGCSE में भी आ चुका है. And now we have to look over how can we calculate the relative atomic mass. We discussed that chlorine has 2 isotopes, chlorine 35 and chlorine 37. So now we have to understand which atom is more abundant in this universe. कौन सा ज्यादा exist करता है इस दुनिया में. ठीक है? So that is called as relative abundance. So this average is actually calculated by using the relative abundances. For example, as you can see here in this example, I have mentioned that chlorine 35 has the abundance 75. This is the relative abundance of chlorine 35. It means this atom of the chlorine is existing more in this universe. And the second atom is chlorine 37. It is having abundance around 25% in this universe. So बेटा जी ये abundance को और इसके mass को, mass क्या होता है? The sum of protons plus neutron. Abundance multiplied by its mass plus abundance multiplied by its mass. And we are talking about the percentage abundance, not just the abundance. ठीक है? 75%. 75% multiplied by 35. So beta ji, if we'll calculate this, so can I write in this way 75 over 100, because percentage is 1 over 100 multiplied by 35 plus this is one isotope. Similarly second isotope को solve करेंगे 25 over 100 multiplied by 37, the mass of the second isotope multiplied by its relative abundance. So when we'll simplify this, it becomes 0.75 multiplied by 35, the first isotope, plus the second isotope, 0.25 multiplied by 37. So when we'll simplify this, we'll get this value 35.5. And we observe this thing in the periodic table कि क्लोरीन के लिए लिखा होता है 35.5. So this is relative atomic mass, the average mass of the atom of the element. और किस तरह से हम कैलकुलेट करते हैं? Now hopefully this is understood to you. So now there is one quick check. This is the question for you, and this is what you have to solve for your practice. There are two isotopes, and you can see the percentage abundances. Now please solve this question by yourself. I'll share the answer in the comment box.